All right, Agent Wilson. Just finished work. It's 10:11 p.m. on a Sunday. Had passed out. Um, Started with 200 business cards. Now you got 74 business cards left. Plus this other 30 that you had that like they sent extras. So you got about 100 business cards left. So you passed out 900 business cards so far. Yeah, because I don't see another stack sitting around here. So that was intense. One lady said she would sell at the beginning of next year. Well, she just said next year. One lady said she would sell next year. Every other person was not interested in selling, or they weren't home. So that was about that was pretty much it. Like you finished out that neighborhood, that first neighborhood called like Mason Mills. Then you went to another neighborhood, which was over by what is it called? Parks at Stonecrest. So when you finished the neighborhood, you had found yesterday they had a food pantry like in the neighborhood. So you went to the food pantry and you got a chicken salad sandwich and some chips and some other. I think I got them right here actually. Oh yeah, you got some mini guava pastries, right? They're just giving this stuff away, literally, for the food pantry. So you met a older woman there. This is between you and me, you and you. You met a cougar. You know, like she was interested in what you were doing. I just said hey. She said hey. Started talking to her. She's like, I'm from the country. I asked her where she was from. The country is not really specific, or like Conyers area. And then I actually played her one of my YouTube videos about Latonia being paradise. And she was really into that. Like, she was really listening to it. I set my phone on the table. She picked up my phone, was walking around with it, trying to listen to it. And like, at the same time, when she was like brushing against me, when she went back and crossed over and got something. So then I asked her, you mind giving me a ride to the top of the neighborhood so I can not walk? And she's like, oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. So we were up there, it was cool. I asked her if she was single. She was like, yeah. And she was saying she doesn't, well, I invited her over here first. So she doesn't date younger men, but she wouldn't tell me how old she was. Before I got in the car though, I said, I'm 24 years old. She's like, you're old enough to be my son. No, you're not 60, are you? No, she wasn't 60. So, well, got her number. She said, oh, I'll talk to you later. I told her about the crazy girl the crazy girl who she was your stalker. She was like, her response to when I explained the entire situation to her was like, oh, she loves you so much. Why didn't you go out there and say something to her? Like, what's the problem? What's going on? And then like her response was like, she probably thought you had another girl in your house with you when she showed up in the middle of the night at 12. Which I'm like, why is that your go-to answer? And in certain ways, like, so you expect me to just have multiple women just floating around. Cause like I pretty much like, so I was like, I told her about that. Now she was a lot older. Well, she was like, oh, she was a lot older, but she was definitely older than me. She didn't have any kids. Like Olivia doesn't have any kids. Dang. She didn't have any kids. And man, can't be saying people's names. That's not cool. It happens. So she yeah. One thing I have realized, I'm very impersonal, so I should put a name to the face to make it more personal, and know that it's not like this is a real woman, this is a real lady. It's not like I have a bad habit of doing that, of not making things like. I mean, part of it's because I'm introverted and it's how I express myself. The other part is I've been hurt, so I'm like trying not to express myself. So, she was like, well, I gotta do my hair first before I come over. We can be friends. No, I'm not gonna tell you how old I am. I'll tell you. I'll tell you later. And then she got into God talk, like, oh, do you believe in Jesus Christ? And she was saying she was a Christian. I'm like, yeah. She was like, okay. Actually, I said we have similar beliefs because I believe a lot of things that are concurrent, but still reading the Bible at the moment. I haven't finished it. So I do know what I believe. How much I believe is a lot. So that was like, that was interesting. Then on the way to back, she was offering to actually put my bike in her car, and I was like, yeah, but no, because I didn't want to ask for like too much, and I didn't think it was gonna fit. Anyways, even though she was like, yeah, I'll definitely put your bike in my car. So when I use that word definitely a lot, it makes things really specific and less general. So I could think about that, because extroverts are not specific; they're just general. When they ask questions, they're specific. On the way back, this white woman, this MILF. Actually, she was a MILF. She was like, "Oh, you want to ride? Are you going far?" And I turned her down. I'm like, no, I don't want to ride. I'm about to. It's not far. It's just right up the street. She's like, are you sure? She's like, if you're not going far, I'll give you a ride. I was like, oh, no, I'm good. And she was like, okay, sweetheart, and pulled off. I should have got that ride from that white woman. It's like, she was definitely picking you up, literally and emotionally. So you missed that one, but you were just kind of. She like drove past you. She was in a car. You were on a bike. You're like, oh man, is this person like, what are they doing? So that happened. You turned down that good opportunity to parlay with a white woman and a MILF. Then that was, both those things were unexpected. Then another unexpected thing happened. You were still riding your bike. Actually, this was before you met the white woman. You're riding your bike, and somebody drives by in a car, well, in a red car. The passenger is like looking, put their face almost to this passenger window, and it's just like looking at the window, out the window at you as you're riding your bike on the side of the road, and you're looking at them because he just looks crazy. Like you trying to, like, I don't know what he was trying to, he didn't say anything to me. He was just looking like a real serious face, drove by in the car. Then he actually opened the car door and was leaning out of the car, looking back at me outside of out of the passenger seat. I'm like, what? And that didn't say anything. I'm like, I don't know what's the beef? Because it seemed like there was beef, because it was like, why are you looking so hard, staring? And didn't say anything. I'm like, what the heck is your problem? I was like, dang, why'd you look out the car? Like, you open the car door while the car is still moving to look out the car and look back at me on a bike. I'm like, what? Be careful with my words, because my words are powerful. Thanks, God. After that happened, came back to the house, talked to my friend Kim, real estate agent, talked to, I was trying to go to another house to finish passing out business cards for the day, so that way I can just give out all of my business cards for the month and have no business cards. And so, have all of them passed out. So, I put some burritos in the oven, went to the grocery store. I got some water because I knew I needed to stay hydrated, and some trail mix for energy. So as I'm walking out of the grocery store, a minivan, literally, if this is where, like, the direction I'm walking in, a minivan swerves from right over here and swerves over the curve into the parking lot in my direction. Like, they're coming at me from this angle, at an oblique angle. And I'm like, whoa. So I go for the other angle to get out of there. Then he swerves around in his car, and I'm looking at him like, does he know me or something? Like, what is going on with these people in their cars? Like, he's swerving into in my direction. So I run around, I run over the curve, run in front of, there's a bus stop and there's a bench at the bus stop, run in front of the bench and then run behind the bench, because I'm not sure if he's trying to swerve around and circle around and hit me, and then run towards the store, so at least I could hop in the store or hop on the curb in front of the store. And so he's swerving. He ran over the curb, is in the parking lot, scared, pulled around again, went through the parking lot, ran over the curb on the other side of the parking lot entrance, drove into the parking lot across the street. There's a chain preventing people from coming through, drives through the chain, and then drives into the back of that parking lot and busts through these double doors with glass and crashes his minivan. And I'm like yelling in the parking lot at the people who were standing around. I'm like, did you just see that? He was trying to hit me. What the fuck is going on? Whoa. People are hopping out their car. Like, I saw what happened. Yo, he's like swerving. Then he actually pulls out of the building he crashed into and is backing the minivan up and turns the minivan around. And I'm like, yo, this dude is trying to come back for some more. Whoa, like I gotta go get somewhere, like I gotta go hide or something like that, because he can't be hitting me with his minivan if I'm like not in the area or from somewhere you can't take a minivan. Um like that was something else. Like, whoa. And then as soon as that happens, the police, like, City Hall is right next to this grocery store, and the police station is at City Hall. They just come down the street, cut their lights on, pull into the parking lot, cut their lights on, stop the guy immediately while he's in the parking lot after he's crashed and then backed out and is trying to pull around. The police stop him. I'm like, yo, what the heck? I'm glad the police caught this guy, because he's going berserk in the parking lot, and he almost hit me. And I almost died. I almost died again today. I'm like, for real. Like, the dude was like, it wasn't even. It was probably like, well, one, he was driving a car. Two, he accelerated over the curb in my direction. So he was, I mean, it doesn't even really matter how far he was. He was far enough for me to fear of my life, because he was literally heading in my, I was looking at, I could see the whites of his eyes. He was looking in my direction. I'm like, do I know him? I'm like, have I done something to this? Haven't done anything to anybody. So why is this person trying to attack me with a car, with a van? So the police end up stopping him. They talked to him. Me and this white guy who was sitting, he was just like, he saw what happened as well. He was sitting in front of the grocery store. We walk over there, and we're just like waiting to see what the police are gonna do. Eventually, the police officer, he eventually puts the guy in handcuffs, and he talks to me, and he's saying that, I saw you running through the parking lot. I'm like, okay, so the police guy definitely saw what happened. Like, so he knows, like, this was what happened? Like, he's like, I'm like, do you know the guy? I'm like, no, I don't know the guy. I'm trying to make sure I don't know this guy, because I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why this happened to me. And so he says, it's just a chance event. I'm like, bro, I almost died like 3 times. And then he's like, oh, so you got some Final Destination stuff going on in your life. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I really do, actually. And I was like, when he said that, I was like, whoa, that's like uncomfortable. Like, I don't really know how they got out of Final Destination or something, but something about cheating death, and you can't cheat death, because God is life. So, whatever. I don't put too much stock in that. But this is like the 7th time I've almost died. Well, at least had my life threatened. But this is definitely like the 3rd time where it's like, if I was like just, because like, you know what? I was drinking, I had bought some water. I was drinking the water. If I was just like, walking through the parking lot drinking the water, I may not have been paying attention and not really been like, oh, this dude is actually, I may not have been paying attention. He could have hit me, and like, he really could have killed me. You see me stuttering there, because I'm like, yeah, he really could have killed me. So, probably gonna tell my therapist about this later on. My goodness. So I just this police officer is like, well, you don't know him, so just chance event. And I'm like, well, okay. You're the professional. He's like, you don't want to wait for the ambulance people to get here? I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, well, let me give you the case number. No, I'm fine, officer. In fact, I've been waiting for too long. My burritos are probably burning in the oven. So then I leave and go get the burritos. But if I do want the case number, I can just go up there. I know the time and the date and the officer's name. So I can just I can just go back and get that case number. But there's nothing for me to do with it. Like, I'm not, I wasn't harmed in any way. It's just like psychologically hurts. Because I'm like, yo, I don't even know this guy. It's just like, this is extremely random. And it was like vicious. And the thing is like, but I was ready. I was ready. I was ready for the threat, and sometimes you're like, oh, we gotta be ready, but there's nothing you can do. You can't fight a car. Like you can't fight a car. Someone is driving in your direction at you. You can't avoid it though, which is the only thing to do. Avoid the car. Don't get touched. And I didn't. So don't get, yeah. So just went back to the house, got my business cards, went out and passed out my business cards. Again, another unexpected event. The lady who was in the parking lot at the time of my near-death experience, I knocked on her door this same day. She was like, didn't I see you up at the parking lot? I was like, oh, yeah. She wasn't trying to sell her home, but I was like, whoa. I'm like, wow. Okay, I just saw you. Didn't remember because like I was losing. I wasn't losing, but I was never losing. I was very flustered. And it was intense. It was an intense situation. So that's my feelings for the day. Now to read my tweets, because I was on Twitter all day tweeting. So let me just read them, comment on my own comments. So first one of the day. Ooh, 24 hours. I got a cold heart. Yeah, I do got a cold heart. I'm trying to get it warmed up, though. Next comment. I got to bounce back. Yeah, I do got to bounce back. I mean, in many ways, I've already bounced really high. Wherever this back is from is really just in my head. It's in the head. It's in my head. It's in the past. Somebody has my address and has sent me a book. Yeah, I just felt like I needed to say something to somebody because I'm getting books sent to my house from people who are not revealing themselves as like, oh yeah, I sent you a book. So I was just like, unexpected. I felt like, okay, like this is cool. I got a book. How do you know I like this book though? Because I read a lot of books and I have books, but I don't have like a book club that I talk to people about my books in. So it's like, I feel like if I don't know you specifically, how do you know I like this type of stuff? So it's like, I'm like, what's up with that? It'd be cool to know them because they're good books, but I'm put off. But I do like the good stuff, so gotta keep the good times rolling. So I just commented on someone's quote here. Matched with another PhD student on Tinder, and he sent me his Google Scholar page. Is this Normal? My response: normal is a paradox. Every person assumes they are normal. Chris Voss. And so really, I felt like this girl was stupid. It was like, okay, you're on a dating app and he sends you something he created and you're like, is this normal? And I was reading through the comments and they're like, oh, he's probably narcissistic. Or he's probably like, these are red flags. It's like, what? No, like, y'all are all PhD students. You're both PhDs. Like, the topic isn't even relevant to someone who's not in your class of PhD student. So it's like, these are the things you would have in common with the person, but you're like, oh, is that normal? It's like, you don't think having something in common with a person is normal? You have to ask other people because you don't know how to feel about that. It's like, you're both for PhD students, and then he has a Google Scholar page. It's like, don't you also have one? Like, what? So I was just like, normal is just whatever you think it is, but clearly she doesn't think it's normal to be dating someone who has similar characteristics as herself, which is just like, so why are you even still like, why do you, I don't know, it's just like she's stupid. Like, it just didn't make sense to even say anything about that because I don't know. Well, I do know. I just felt like she was dumb. Not because she's actually dumb, but because it's like, those are the things you would have in common with him. So it's just like, what, I don't know. And other PhD people were saying it's like a bad thing to be sharing that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, what? Y'all all got PhDs and you think it's bad to talk about what you do all day? Okay. Why did you even get the PhD? All right, so next comment. INTJ for now. So that's my Myers-Briggs personality. I'm not gonna get into that. Then the next comment is I am ENFJ for now. That's the other personality. So the first one was strategist or stratagem. The second one is ENFJ, which is adventurer, or something like that. So when I took the test, they actually told me I was the adventurer one, but I feel like I'm the INTJ one. So like a thinking person and a introvert. But the other one says I'm extroverted. So maybe if I take it again, I'll definitely get something if I take it again. But will it be what I think it is or what I feel it is? Who knows? So next comment. I want to be given an honorary degree. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm gonna get a college degree. It should be an honorary one, just for the things I've created, I've produced. Maybe I'll have to produce some more things to get an honorary degree. However, I feel like people keep mentioning, oh, you could get a degree, you have such high intelligence, you could be a lawyer. I'm like, yeah, I know all that, but it's like this whole like traditional institutional school thing is like, y'all should pay me for being there because I'm such high value. Because I understand how institution works and I've seen the products that they've produced in the mindsets of these students who are not producing. Whereas a person such as myself who has not attended a quote unquote institution of higher learning has been able to create systems, fulfill independent study, seek out knowledge, seek out mentors, reference, find deeper layers of information, create mental models on which to base my decisions and future actions upon, and taking risks which are necessary in a business environment. So it's like, I did all that without a degree. I feel like y'all want me to get a degree. Someone needs to give me an honorary one because I've been doing this studying thing for a long time and applying it at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but you know, seasons. So, next comment. Really good meditation technique. Walk down the sidewalk with your eyes closed. Picture in your mind's eye the sidewalk. Breathe. If you stray, you'll just walk on the grass. This reveals your attention span. It's also a self-trust exercise because there's meditation, which is typically done like where you're sitting down or lying down, where you're not moving, you're immobile. But when you're moving and you're doing meditation, it makes it seem like everything actually is like in the mind, which is where it is most of the times. But well, the part that you control is in the mind. And I feel like it was just pretty cool to do because I just needed to do some breathing, and I also needed to make sure I was telling myself that this is a dream because I'm creating my life. That's why I have a business. That's why I do things, because I want to create the life that I'm living. So that just helps with that. I feel like that. Anyways, next comment. Believe this. There are wackos in the world. Man, this was 12 hours ago. It's kind of odd. Well, yeah, like the dude driving the minivan was a wacko. I believe it. My next comment is that's really like poignant that like a couple hours later they're like I was almost murdered by one. The police definitely said he was probably on some drugs or alcohol or something. Okay. Next comment. Maybe I should make paintings of doors. I feel like this is a really good one because I'm knocking on all of these doors. I've done at least 1,000 of them. Eventually I'll have hit 10,000 doors. And it's like, man, like if I was to paint some doors, I could really paint like the ones I like. And it has a lot of sentimental meaning because it's so much, which I'm not even gonna feel like, you know, they say like, I could label it, but I could really break it down deep into like all of the specific emotions I feel when it comes to each door, the type of people who are behind the door, the interactions at the door, and not even touching on the emotions I feel, each emotion I feel knocking on a door. So I feel like whenever I get to that, I'll get to that. I'm gonna make sure I like that one. Okay, time to start working on my next book. I had a feeling and it's true. So I'll need to put some time in. It's free for me to work on this book while I get up money to do some other career related items. So I can definitely just start putting together a initial draft. Once I finish it, I'll find a publisher and apparently you can get an advance on your book. So maybe you could do that. Make sure I like that one. Actually, I want to retweet that one. Retweet that. You don't have peace because you're missing the skills or not using them. Yeah, I was thinking about this in a way of like a puzzle piece. And it's like the whole picture. You got to have the whole picture. And so you're either missing pieces to the whole picture or you're not using them. Like, you know, like let's say like some pieces are on top of the other pieces, or you just haven't finished like sorting out all of the pieces of the puzzle before it comes together. So yeah, you don't have peace because you're missing pieces, aka skills. So skills are pieces or you're just not using them. Like I have a lot of books with a lot of different skills in here and I'm not using all of them. I admit it. I'll do better. I don't know how, but I'll probably need to bring in more people to help me do better. Okay, next comment. I'm a big dog. Yeah, I'm a big dog. That's what one of the homeowners said to me. I was like, okay. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna receive that. Next one. I came, I saw, I conquered. I did that one right when I was finishing that first neighborhood, which took me about 3 days, and had the food pantry inside of it. I feel like I felt like that because one, Alexander the Great, Alexander of Macedonia, said that, and also because I wanted to like, what does that mean, conquer? And it really means to gain. It can also, well, one of the definition means to gain the love, admiration, or respect of another. And I was like, yeah, I definitely got these people's respect. Everyone's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good one. Thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's like that is definitely admiration. Remember that. And so in many ways, you like that, but what it is there is like a piece of, there's some resistance to that inside of you, because also there's the love part of gaining the love of others, which is why I felt like I didn't get in that car with that MILF, that white woman. So I was trying to figure out how to get over that, and I was messing around with YouTube's algorithm because I know how to do that. So I was like, I saw a video that was like, this guy he did a free hug experiment. So that leads into my next comment. I should do a free hug experiment where in the video, like I could just stand, put a sign that says free hugs. I'm open to love, and put on a blindfold, and then have people just come up and hug me and hug them. And that way I can let more love in. I'm open to love, so I don't have a cold heart. So that one is like, that one, it feels tough, so that's probably why I would get a lot out of it. Next comment. I'm a trooper. That's what the woman I met, that's what she said. She's like, oh, you're out here knocking on doors all day? Oh, you're a trooper. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna receive that too, because again, I'm a military veteran. And I don't really think about it like that all the time, but to be reminded that, oh, I'm a trooper, yeah, that's what I'm doing, because all these doors, hundreds of rejections, like, man. So next comment. Help me. I just got this cougar's number, invited her over. She said she'd do her hair first. When I told her about the last woman being 38 and a stalker, she said, oh, she really loved you. How should I take that? By the way, she knows I'm 24, but would not tell me her age. Promises later. So this, I was feeling anxious because I'm scared that this woman could be like the last woman, which, again, I don't want to have a cold heart, but I don't trust women, especially after that stalker. And that's her response. It's unsettling me that, like, oh, I guess, oh yeah, oh, she really loved you, but aren't you gonna say something bad about her? Which is what I was really expecting from her. Like, yeah, like, say something bad about this person who did this to me. And she didn't, actually. She's like, well, why didn't you go out there and try to work it out with her, or say something? Why did you have to call the police on her? I'm like, all right, I'll give you that one. I really was expecting her to say something bad, but she didn't. So now, like, even like the thing is too, like, even when I'm talking to myself in my head, it's not even the same way I say it on the camera to you on the camera. So you, even like the conversation internally isn't even the same conversation you're having on this camera, which is just like, it's amazing how the mind works. Okay, next comment. This white lady with the baby seat in the back offered me a ride. If you're going far, sweetheart. Total MILF, but I turned her down. Ugh, WTF is going on? Dang, I probably should have took that one. Yeah, I still feel that way. However, dressed like this, it'll happen again. However, like the other woman already said she would drive my bike to home. This woman said she would give me a ride. So it's like I should have just took the easy way out. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't love myself enough to say I don't have to do the hard work. I don't have to do the labor. Someone else is gladly going to share their resources and do the labor for me. Think about that. Next comment. Dude seen me riding my back. Dude seen me riding my bike and leaned out the car, even opened the door to look back at me riding on the side of the road. Stank face. What is happening today? Yeah, like that was like again, like that was like the third occurrence. It was like I'm like getting more unsettled. Next comment. Slick, I don't trust women. Yeah. Yeah, because I have to get over the past. And I'm not saying I have to, but I'm over the past. I believe that. I want to be able to accept love from white people, aka women, especially when they're trying to pick me up. Need I say more? Because I do agree. I've been thinking about this often. Like, I know how I grew up with white people, but there's a stigma nowadays about white people and how they, years ago, their ancestors were terrible people, which now I feel like I'm able to not need anything from white people because of the society I've chosen to live in. However, I do want to be able to accept love from white people because I feel like there's also a barrier in that. And it may be because I didn't finish college and was more exposed to more white professors and just like white girls who were going to school on the collegiate level. However, whatever the case is, I don't know if it's got anything to do with the college thing, but probably not. But my comment is I want to be able to accept love from white people because that woman was showing me love and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Well, when I say straight, I mean I'm good. And you know what? I got to stop saying that too. Basically, I'm saying I'm not interested in you, woman. No. I'm not basically saying that. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not interested in you, woman. Which is not my real feeling. So next comment. Reset expectations. I was commenting on someone's post. She said, set boundaries. If people can't respect those boundaries, peace. I paid you, this guy said, I paid the person A said, I paid you $5,200. I expect you to answer me ASAP. Person B, hello, you paid me to execute and complete a project for you, not to be available to you 24/7. I've kept in constant communication with you throughout. Wouldn't you agree? Person A, yes, but for the amount of money I paid you, you owe me your full attention. What's going on? Why did I get a refund? Person B, I'm sorry, but I think you should find another team that will match the type of availability you're expecting. I won't be able to make those type of concessions. Best of luck. My comment, reset expectations by expressing limits. Well, her limits are Twitter. That's why she posted it. And I was just saying she didn't have to give the money back. She just had to tell the guy to, hey, look, I don't expect for me to answer you ASAP. But she's probably an extrovert because she didn't just say that directly. Don't you paid. This is what you said you were going to do. This is what really saying. This is what I'm expecting to do. You paid me to execute and complete a project for you, not to be available to you 24/7. That's like she's saying. I'm expecting to execute this. I've kept in constant communication with you throughout. Wouldn't you agree? So that is saying like she probably hasn't been like her. But it's her idea of constant communication. But for him to say, you owe me your full attention, no. Just say, like, I mean, she could just say, no, I don't. But, you know, again, my comment is reset expectations, because he's expecting more than what he's getting and more than what is, like, in their agreement. So she wasn't really forthcoming with her limits. She was just saying what her boundaries are, but not what her limits are. Yeah, that was a eureka moment. Next comment. She probably needed some intimacy. I feel like that's what the white woman was wanting from me. Definitely. So I denied her of it, which is something I'm not interested in doing, which is I am interested in giving her intimacy, fulfilling her need of intimacy, fulfilling women's needs of intimacy to my boundaries. Next comment. I almost died again today. As I'm walking across store parking lot, man loses control of van and swerves into lot vindictively towards me. I run. He swerves and busts over curb before crashing across street. Police see me run. They arrive ASAP. Officer G. Law III. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I commented on that comment. Today marks another near-death experience, including my 2 others. This makes 3. And I'm not including the times guns have been pulled on me. Officer says it's chance that it happened to me. So yeah, I was telling my friend Jeb, man, I've had like 7 of these types of experiences where either a gun gets pulled on me, another gun has been pulled on me, a gun has been like threatened to be pulled on me. I've been rear-ended by a drunk driver. I was hit by an 18-wheeler. I almost died of dehydration in Colombia. Now today I almost got hit by a van randomly as I'm going to the grocery store. So that's the 7 near-death experiences I've had. Next comment. I think I live in the future. Yeah, because sometimes I'll be talking to people and it seems like they're not keeping up with what I'm saying, but I'm saying things that they know about, which makes it seem like they're like lagging. Well, I'm confused. It confuses me. I commented on one girl's comment. She said, depression been eating my ass alive and people don't even understand that. They just think I went ghost or stopped communicating with them for no reason. I've just been struggling to even want to stay alive. Upside down, smiley face, upside down, smiley face. That was her comment. My comment was release. Because I know I just almost died, but that's different from what she's going through. It's like an inverse or recursive type of experience. Eureka. Next comment. This girl has a comment. She said, thanks for sending me your vaginas. Practicing now. And she is drawing pictures of vaginas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. My comment. Nice nails. One girl has like, yeah, she has nails. Another girl's comment. I'm going through a death of my old self. Spent yesterday crying about it because that shit is very much scary, even if it's for your highest good. Um, my comment. So it's happening to everybody, it seems. I said that comment because I felt very similar to her, and the fact that I was getting this attention from people, or being able to get this responses from people, and also passing out these business cards, because that was the big thing. I feel like that was the thing that really fueled the entire day. I mean, it had to. I wouldn't have been in these situations without me being like working. Without me working, I would not have been in any of these situations. Potentially. So my old self is dying as my new self, which is becoming more fulfilled by passing out these business cards. There's also a sense of like my old self did die, because you think when you have a near-death experience, it's like, man, everything before you is just kind of like you rethink that. But in that moment, I didn't rethink anything. I just thought, dodge the car, like, and make sure this person, not even dodge the car, dodge this person's intent. Yeah, like just you know. So you know. Next comment. My neighbor has ponies. My neighbor has ponies. I felt like that's really cool to live next to someone who's got a little farm. They got ponies. They have like 2 of them. I think they probably have more, but they have to have 2 of them. So I feel like that's really unique and fun. Next comment. No time for distractions, not even death. I feel like that all the time. I was talking with Jeb, and he was just like, I was telling him about it, and he was just consoling me, and I just said that. I was like, okay, I don't have no time for distractions, not even death. Next comment. I'm an asset to my community. Yep, I feel like that the community would lose if I was not here. So I'm an asset. I'm adding value everywhere I go in this community, in my community. Yep. Next comment. I can't be dying, not if I can help it. I agree with that 100%. I feel like it's my life, and I can't be dying, not if I can help it. And I can help it by being fit and prepared and ready and aware and strong, dependable. I need to think of some better words, but also, yeah, I feel like that. Next one. Next comment. It's 3 pictures I post of deer. On the way to knock on some more homes, I see 3 deer. My comment, and now I see 3 white-tailed deer on this, like, just foraging for food. I'm like, wow, that is like, what else is happening in this day? Because I almost died, and now I'm just seeing like something so rare, like not just one deer, but like deer that are like, they're actually looking at me. Like in the pictures, they're turned towards me, and like they're looking at me. I'm like, wow, I'm really just seeing some deer. Just, that's beautiful. It's nature revealing itself to me, and I'm glad to be able to appreciate that moment. And I'm grateful, because I was like, wow, like everyone doesn't get to have this type of experience. And I know that, I'm aware that like there are wild creatures, prancing around in the forest, literally. And I just had to take a moment to pause and just be grateful. I love it. Next comment. I talk to God every day. Yes. I feel like I don't talk, well, I feel like I don't right now, but I definitely feel God, and I feel like I talk to him every day, even though I just said what I just said. because my friend Kim, she called me. She was like, Kim, who you talk to every day? I was like, no one specific. She's like, do you talk to your mom? I was like, no, I don't talk to my mom every day. She's like, what about your brother? I was like, no, he's a bad person. And I'm like, I blocked my dad because he's a bad person. And so she's like, who do you talk to every day? I was like, I talk to myself every day. That's what I said to her. And then I went out and almost got like that car accident. So I was like, wait a minute, I talk to God every day. There's no also about it. So I feel like I need to say that. Maybe, I don't know why she asked me that question, because it was just like, she's like, what keeps you motivated? How do you stay motivated? I'm like, really, I'll be listening to books and mentors and courses, and then I go do that. Next one. I never talk about me to new people. I think that's true. Like, I was getting advice from an older uncle of mine about this cougar I met, this woman, and he was like, women, they never want you to talk about yourself. They don't like guys who just talk about themselves and who are just like talking about themselves. And I'm like, I don't ever talk about myself. I don't talk about myself to other people. I let people talk about themselves sometimes a lot too much, because they start saying stupid or negative or unproductive or confused things. But maybe I do. I don't know. I'm confused about that, because I'm pretty sure I definitely never talk about myself or me to new people. So that might be why it's hard for me to let people in, because I don't talk about me. I talk about them or ask them questions, or, because talk about me, I have to go into my past, how I was feeling in my past, to then express it. Or just like that like state of like expressing gerunds or something like that. I don't know. Like I picked up the ball gently. It's how I felt. Like, it's a weird way. Like I knocked on these doors adamantly. Would be some like type of like, I'm an adamant person. So do people get that? I'm adamant, or I'm confrontive. So that's my Twitter comments. Just wanted to break those down for myself. And now that I got these videos, and I got a couple of them, I gotta like, I don't even know how many I got up there, man. Why am I saying that? There's a counter on the bottom. It's 149. And so this is gonna make 150 public videos. And so my main thing, which again, Cameron, you manifest so strongly, is like the last video, more intense. This was an intense day. So let me finish this video before something else happens. Farewell.